I'm just going to walk you through real quick how to set up your email in Gmail. I'm going to start with going over a fresh install and then going to touch on what to do if you've got it in there already, but it becomes disconnected for some reason. So as you can see, I've got a couple monitors going on, so I'm going to be looking back and forth, but I've got my Gmail account open here, and I have clicked on this little cog and gone to settings, and that's how I ended up on this page here. It's under the accounts and import tab, and you're going to want to scroll down and go to this check mail from other accounts section and click on add a mail account. So the first thing you're going to do is add in your email address that you want to feed in. We're going to use POP3 settings. So then we're going to go to import emails from my other account and then next. And then this is your full email address and the password that you set up or that somebody else set up for you. Hopefully I did that right. And then the server information that your host provided. Typically, you will get two different settings, a secure SSL/TLS settings and a non-SSL settings. The secure one is recommended, but I don't know anyone who's had issues with using either one, although, you know, any email can be hacked. But so we're going to start with the secure version and see if that one works. So the settings that I got from my provider are that and this port. Never leave a copy on the server because you'll run out of server space very quickly. It'll require that you end up going in there and deleting every so often to save room, so I never check that box. In this case, you want to check that we're using a secure connection. The labeling incoming messages is your choice. Sometimes it is helpful so that you can easily distinguish between maybe like work and personal emails. I do have some labels assigned for these, but I don't tend to pay a lot of attention to them. So it's completely a personal choice. And the last one is archive incoming messages to skip the inbox. Generally, you don't want to skip the inbox. You just want your emails to show up in your inbox so that you have one place where you can deal with all of your emails instead of having to go to multiple locations. The next step is to add the account. And we're just going to have. So it says that the account has been added, and I would also like to be able to send mail from this address. So I'm going to choose yes. You can also choose no, and you can change it later, but it's just as easy to change it now. If you don't ever need it, that's fine, but at least it's set up for you. And then click next. And then you can enter how you want your name to appear. The choice is yours. We do not want it treated as an alias. Click next step, and you're going to use the server information provided by your provider again. And your full email address, that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is they don't put their full email address in here. Port it's recommending is 465. And we're going to try this secure SSL, and we're going to add the account. And the next step is that it says it sent me an email that I need to look at so that I can get a code from that email. If your setup is successful, you should get to this point. You do have the option to resend it a couple times. The only thing that I have experienced, it should arrive in your inbox right away. If it doesn't, it's likely because your domain has not propagated yet, which means fully connected to the server, basically. So if that's the case, then you have to wait until that is complete. They say that it can take anywhere from 15 or 20 minutes up to 48. Some resources say 72 hours. But don't worry, because you won't lose any email. It just means that if you do need access to those emails, that you'll want to do it on the server. And soon they'll start to appear in there, and you can both receive and send from your email address by using the same settings, your email address and the password connected to that email address by going to your domain / webmail, Webmail. And I would just use that in the meantime if you're having trouble getting this connection completed. So I am going in now into my account. I have found the email that I need. And when you open that email, you have two options. So you can grab the code and enter it in here as instructed, or you can click the link in the confirmation email. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the link. And it's asking me to confirm. I'm on a different screen doing that for privacy reasons. And it has accepted all of that. So I should be good to go. And as you could see probably there before I refreshed the page, I wanted to make sure that it showed up right. Here is the email to send from, and here is the email to receive from. So we're all done, and it was basically that easy. So the biggest challenges come from missing something in the process. So make sure that you follow the directions that I provided exactly, and that you use the settings exactly as they're spelled out in the screenshot that I provided or in the email that I provided with that information. There are two sets, so if the first one doesn't work, you can try the second one. Sometimes one will work better than the other, and I can't really explain that. I don't know why that is, because they should both work the same, but I would first do the secure version and try to get that one to work. Now, if you've already fed your email into your Gmail account, but it's become disconnected for any reason, it doesn't really matter why. It can happen because of a change in server. It can happen if there's a maintenance done on the server and it disconnects for a little bit of time. Sometimes it's a Gmail thing, any reason at all. If it becomes disconnected, Gmail will give you a warning that says that it hasn't been able to retrieve email from that email address for a period of time. And it will continue to tell you that until you reconnect it. And if you need to reconnect it, you have two options. You can come into this same space and update your settings by going under the edit info and going through the steps again and just filling in the blanks. And that should be fine. But I will tell you that sometimes I've had some challenges getting that to work, and I have found it to be easiest just to delete both the check mail from for the email that you're having trouble with and the send, and just start fresh as if you were feeding it in for the first time. That seems to do the trick. If it isn't working, it's likely because of that domain propagation, or it could be the server's down, but if your website is up and working, then that wouldn't be the case. Could be something on Gmail's side. It's really sometimes tough to pinpoint the exact reason, but my suggestion is to not, if you are absolutely sure you've entered everything correctly and it's not working, then my suggestion is to just wait. If it's late at night, just go to bed, and in the morning, get up and try again. I've never failed to have success if I've waited and done it tried again in the morning, because it's generally plenty of time for it to propagate. It's very rare that it takes longer than that. And you can always remember access from going to your domain /webmail, WEBMAIL, and entering your email address in full, along with the password assigned to you with that email address, or one that you've chosen, depending on your situation. So if you have any questions, you can let me know, but this should get you exactly where you need. And as long as your domain is propagated fully, server is working, barring any other issues with Gmail or your internet, if you follow the directions exactly, it will work for you. I've never not been able to get one attached. It's sometimes just a matter of waiting out any issues that there might be in that moment. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions or have difficulties.